Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I try to avoid a parliamentarian situation. As a former president of a parliament with 750 members in my time, I was used to be a witness of this wonderful saying, everything is already said, but not yet by everybody. Therefore, I will not repeat what some of the predecessors on the podium here already said, but I want to focus on 4 elements in this 8 minutes I was asked to respect, because we are all hungry, and I will try to do it. Yes, the European Union is in a dramatic situation of challenges. Economically, we are challenged by the United States of America and China. The Inflation Reduction Act is not a kind of solidarity of the United States of America with Europe. It is the other way around. It is a step to protect the American economy against a competitor. I know this is not very comfortable, and the United States representatives are always very angry if I mention it, but in my eyes, that's the case. Secondly, we are challenged in an unprecedented way by Russia. And this is not only war, this is also a fight between different systems. Our system is based, and a lot of people spoke about shared values. Our system as a union of democratic countries is based on 3 principles: respect, tolerance, and dignity. Respect for the other nation, tolerance for the other opinion, dignity for all citizens, beyond their sex, beyond their profession, the color of their skin. This is the idea of Europe: respect, tolerance, cooperation, to grant dignity to all individuals. And the system of the Russians is the opposite. This is, we are strong, you are weak. We decide, you follow. We must raise to ourselves, within the European Union, the question, are we always sticking to our own values, to our own principles? If I look to some of the governments of the European Union, I have my doubts. And this leads immediately to what Sergei Stanishev, for example, raised, and Guy Verhofstadt, the credibility of a communion of democracies in other parts of the world, to attract other parts of the world to our system instead, to allow them to join the camp of Russia and China, depends from our own credibility. But if we internally don't stick to our values, we should not be surprised that they will not join immediately us. And economically, this is a risk, because it's quite clear. If we want to grant for our next generation, the next generation, the same chances my generation, for example, had in Europe, we need raw materials, we need to invest in technology. And we need to win other parts of the world to cooperate with us, and not with those who are in no way sharing our principles. The European Union must be prepared to be enlarged, quite clear, if the Western Balkans countries once more, like Turkey, for example, since 60 years, are told, you will become a member of the European Union. And from every European Council to the next one, it is postponed because you need unanimity. And it was already mentioned, there is always one election in the Netherlands, in France, wherever, where at the end an opposition party makes a campaign against enlargement. It sounds always very nice. They want to spend our money for them on the other side. This is enlargement in reality, Marine Le Pen or other right-wing extremists. Then it is postponed. And postponed is then also the credibility of the European Union. I'll give you an example, a very clear example. To Greece and North Macedonia. The problem between these 2 countries was the name of the country. Years and years and years, we postponed the accession negotiation for North Macedonia because the name question was not solved and Greece put a veto. Then Tsipras and Zoran Zaev invested a lot. Why? Because the European Council and Commission, the European Parliament with overwhelming majority said, if you solve the name problem, you will get immediately access negotiations, which was for the country like North Macedonia a wonderful message. What happened? Tsipras and Zaev invested a lot. With referenda, they put their whole individual weight as leaders of the country in the process of this referenda, and they won it. And the name problem was solved. Then the European Council gathered, and France said, no, it's too early. This is a kind of diplomatic betrayal, leading to an increased unpopularity of the European Union. Why I take that example? Because this is a part of the Western Balkan countries with a deception of the population, saying then why we should join the European Union. If the Russians promise us other things, they stick to their promises. But if we enlarge the European Union, we need reforms. If we continue then with an enlarged European Union, Guy Verhofstadt described it, on the principle of unanimity, forget it. But this is a geostrategic challenge, not an institutional or a constitutional one. If we will not enlarge, this is an enormous, a historical shortcoming. Therefore, better to introduce the principle of a majority vote instead to fail historically. My last observation, the European Union is a union of small countries. And some of the countries who have not yet understood that they are small countries. My own country included. I want to finish with a short report about a visit I just spent to China. There's a triangle of Hangzhou, Shanghai, and Ningbo. Ningbo is the twin city of my home city in Aachen, in western part of Germany, 250,000 inhabitants. Ningbo has 9 million inhabitants, our twin town. And these three cities together in an area like 30–40% of the Netherlands has 45 million citizens. This is more than 50% of Germany. If the competition in the 21st century is between China and Luxembourg, I can tell you a story. The former president of the European Commission, Jean-Claude Juncker, always told. He served 19 years as Prime Minister of Luxembourg, and he said once a year the Secretary General of the Chinese Communist Party is coming to Luxembourg. Then in his time was it Hu Jintao. I take him then in my arms and I say to him, look, Hu, you and me together, China and Luxembourg, we are really a world power. And that's true. I share that view. China and Luxembourg together, they better. That's without any doubt. But he continued, when he is back in Beijing, he is still a world power. And what I'm the sous-prefect of Luxembourg. This is the reality of the member states of the European Union. Czech Republic, Slovakia, Slovenia, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Ireland, Luxembourg, Malta, Cyprus, Hungary. Hungary is a world power, but okay. But only 10 million inhabitants. I could continue. If we in the 21st century believe that to tackle the challenges of our time happens on the basis of national particular sovereignty we will lose. Therefore, we need a strong, united, sovereign European Union. Thank you very much.